Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Samantha back here again with another little video. Hope you're all doing okay. So I'm sat in my conservatory today and it's not too bad, typical November weather. So I hope it's all right where you are around the world. Let me know in the comments where you are and what the weather's like. I like to hear where you're from. So if you're new here, my name is Sam and I am literally just a mum who stays at home and looks after my kids and my house. I have neurodiverse children and I just do this kind of thing just to keep my mind occupied, and I like to share what I've been doing. I'm not an expert and I've said this before, and my channel is basically surrounded by me chatting, you chatting along with me, and it's not a quick process. So I recently had someone saying that one of my videos was a little too long. Well, that's absolutely fine. Play me at double speed, or indeed go watch someone else's channel if you want something a bit faster, because this channel is me and you having a chat, getting together around the table and just being friends, I think. So let's have a look at what we're going to do today. Okay, so I really like making Christmas jewellery, even though I did ask in my Facebook group when was too early to think about Christmas, and the resounding answer to that was, it's never too early, Sam. So I had a couple of ladies in my Facebook group that make Christmas jewellery all year round, and I think that's wonderful. So today we're going to have a look at these little sort of stylised Christmas trees, which I think are really, really cute. So look, it's like almost like a Scandi style, I think you would say. And you can use any type of beads that you like in this section here. Here I've used like a mix, this mix here, which I can't remember where I bought that from actually. Might have been a bead show or something anyway. So it's like a, like a bead mix. So you can use anything you like really. So, I've got these bead mixes here. You can make them to suit an outfit if you want. And then you fashion this sort of little bucket, a Christmas tree bucket at the bottom. So we're going to be doing this today. I think they're really, really elegant actually in the ear. But today we're going to be making sort of quite a traditional version. I mean, I've made those to go with an outfit and a hat that I've just made myself. I do a bit of knitting and a bit of crochet, and I've just made myself a bobble hat out of some beautiful orange chunky, or bulky as you call it in the US, wool. So I've made those to match, but I thought we would make the partner to this guy today, which is obviously traditional colours. So if you're here for a chat and a bit of a waffle and a witter and a ramble and a faff, then you're in the right place. Otherwise, please go search out someone who doesn't talk as much as me. There you go. So that's fine. So let's have a look what we need today. So for today's little tutorial, let's move these out the way. Today we're going to need 1mm, that's 18 gauge bare copper wire. All right, so I get mine from the Scientific Wire Company. I'm not sponsored, but I do get asked quite a lot where I get my wire from, and it's www.wires.co.uk for those of you who want to know. I'll put a link in the description box. Again, not sponsored, it's just I like these guys and they make really good quality copper wire. All sorts of different wires actually. And you're also going to need some 0.4, which I believe is 26 gauge, I think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, which I possibly am, because I am quite often wrong. So what else have we need? We need some flush cutters, obviously. You're going to need, again, what I call my usual suspects, chain nose pliers, that kind of thing. You're also going to need, let's have a think. Yep, yes. You're going to need some round nose or 6-step bell making pliers. Mine are 2 to 9 increment pliers, if you want to know. What else do we need? We're going to need some flat nose, broad nose pliers, these guys here. Mine are 4mm tips, if you wanted to know. And I use these for making the angles, on the bucket and the tree and that kind of thing. So you're going to need a pair of those. You'll need a ruler just to measure out some lengths, the measurements which I'll give you in a bit. What else do we need, Sammy? We need some beads, of course. So again, for these cute guys here, just use like a mix. Or if you want to make the traditional Christmas colours, you're going to need some 11O seed beads. Okay, so I'm using green and red and yellow, just because I think they look quite festive. You use anything you like. Again, you can use any wire you like, silver, gold, whatever takes your fancy. Whatever floats your boat, as they say. And what else? Okay, the last thing you're going to need is some 4mm jump rings, and I make my own, and I'm using 1mm bare copper wire in soft all the way through. All right, so I'll clear the table away and we will chat and faff and make these really cute little earrings with the little bucket or not, as the case may be. So I'll see you in a few. Righty ho, so let's get going, shall we? Meantime, let me know how you are in the comments and what you've been up to this week. I've taken a little bit of time away this week just for my mental health, just because it's just been a little bit dodgy, the mental health this week and last week. So, you know, you've got to look after yourself, haven't you? The whole point of my channel is to give me the opportunity to do something for myself. And if that's, you know, if I put videos out and nobody watches them, that's fine. I do this for me. All right, so if you're happy to listen to me rambling on, then welcome. Let's ramble along together. Righty ho, so to make these gorgeous frames, which we'll do first, you're going to need 14 centimeters. Okay, now I know a lot of you guys use inches, but today I'll be using centimeter measurements, just because it's a little bit more precise for me anyway. I'm sure you guys that use inches can work out the equivalents. Okay, so make sure that both sides are flush cut. Okay, so my best advice when you're making these is to make two together at the same time. All right, that just basically means that when you're making them, you make them exactly the same. So make two at once if you're making them for earrings. And if you're making it for a pendant, obviously you won't need two, will you? You just need the one. So 14 centimeters. What we want to do then is we want to find the center. All right, because we're going to be bending this top bit. So find the center and come in with your, I'm using my flat nose here at 7 centimeters. And I bend an angle. So when I bend an angle here, I use my pliers on both sides. I just sort of rotate just to keep things nice and equal and symmetrical, hopefully. So when you're making both of these, just do them both at the same time. And you want kind of this kind of a shape. You can bend it in and out as we're going along in a little while. So this is what we want. And hopefully these guys will be, yeah, just need to just snip slightly off there. So you want these two ends here to be, you know, equal. All right, so this is what we have. The next thing we need to do, I'll try not to make it too long and protracted. I'll go as quick as I can. We need to find the 4 centimeter mark. So measure, put your point on the end of your ruler and measure down 4 centimeters. And then again, grab it with your plier so that you have the 4 centimeters here. Okay. Or indeed you can mark it with a Sharpie. Let's see how that works. No, I don't have a Sharpie. That's tough. There you go. It is what it is. Measure 4 centimeters down. All right, and then we want to bend this wire like so, so that it makes a triangle like so. Okay, so that's what we have. Want to do exactly the same on the other side. So you can either just gauge it from here, or you can again, you know, be a little bit more precise and use your ruler at 4 and then bend so that we have this here. All right, you see that? That's good. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. I'll just straighten this side up a little bit. You know, these things are never perfect, especially when you're doing it on a camera. They're Anyway, we can sort that out later. So we have this. The next thing we need to do is to come in and bring each one of these guys downwards. All right, so I just place my plier around about here. You can see that, and then just bend. And then the other side, and bend. Okay, so we have, can you hear my dog snoring? There we go. It's 13 today, is Glory, 13 years old. So hopefully you've made these so that they are equidistant, and if you haven't, literally don't worry about it. These are organic and handmade, and it really doesn't matter. So we've got this kind of thing here, like so. Okay, and mine aren't exact, but you know what? I don't care about that. It's not the point. So we have this. Now these two wires at the bottom here need to be the same length. So if you have just a tiny bit to snip off, then go ahead and snip it off. All right, so just part these slightly. Okay, so you see what we've got. The next thing to do is to make these swirly bits at the bottom. So I make just a simple spiral with my first step of my plier. You know, come in with your round nose, whatever you like. Don't forget that this is just me faffing and just giving you some ideas. Okay, so we start the little spirals off. So pop the pliers at the end of the wire and just go for it and start making these little spirals. Okay, so come in with your chain nose or your flat nose or whatever and just continue to bend these guys round until you get to about, let's have a look, about here. You need a little bit of a gap here because we are going to be winding some 26 gauge 0.4 millimeter around, so don't have them too tight up. So I'd say around about here. All right, so this is what we have. All right, you don't need to hammer these. These are, you know, these will become quite stable when you wrap the beads inside, so don't worry too much about that. Oh gosh, Glory, you're so snory today. He's getting old. Right, so let's bring in, excuse me, our little beads. So I'm going to use the little green ones for the body. That's that. And then just a couple of little, arbitrarily, ooh, we don't need that many. Oh gosh. Oh, why does this always happen? Just a few little tiny beads. Just a few, not 500,000, Sam. There we go, that'll do. Oh, good grief. Oh dear. This is so much fun doing this in front of the camera. I really enjoy it, so don't worry about me. Talk amongst yourselves, as I always say. Righty-ho. So what we need to do now is to take off a length of your 26 gauge. Now I'm going to say you're probably going to need, let's have a think, 15, that's 30, 45. I'm going to say about 50 centimetres, just to be on the safe side. Okay, you need a decent amount of wire, just mainly because you don't want to run out, do you? I hate running out of wire. Oh gosh, these beads are giving me some grief today. There we go. Never mind. Right, let's go for this. Right, so what I tend to do, because I'm right-handed, I come at it from this way. Obviously, if you're left-handed, then please, you know, just reverse what I'm doing. So put your wire underneath and just secure that little tail, making sure that these bits are side by side. Then wrap, 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 and wrap. So I've got, what, 5 wraps going on there. All right, so can you see that? We've got 5 little wraps that are just securing these two guys together. Now what you want to do is on the back side, you're going to have a front and a back side here. So obviously this is the front side, underneath is the back side. So at the back side, you're going to want to lay that wire along this little edge here. All right, that's what I do. And then pop your wire through, making sure not to kink it, obviously, and then just secure in that corner with one wrap, like so. So can you see that that wire now is hidden behind? You won't be able to see it at all when we've got the beads on. All right, so just secure it in that corner, like so. So the next thing you do, obviously, you've done this before, no doubt. This is just me showing what I've been doing this week. And hopefully everybody here likes Christmas. I don't really decorate my house too much just because it makes me anxious. But I do like to see jewellery and jumpers, and Glory will have a little Christmas jumper on and that kind of thing. I just think it looks really festive. So we put some beads on and bring them down and place them over the top like so. So if you can see here, we've got our first line. All right, so I've worked out when I was making these that I need 4 wraps in between each line, just to give it, you know, a bit of a gap so that they're not all too clumped up. So I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so looking through my Mr. Magoo glasses, because I'm as blind as a bat, you want to do 1, then back up through, and 2 quite tightly, you know, make sure it's nice and firm. 3, and then back up through for 4 wraps. All right, so we've got 4 wraps in between. And what I do is because I don't like the wire being behind, so what I do is I pop it back through and then I'm ready for my next row of beads. All right, so as you can see here, the wire has come back through the frame. Okay, so let's get a couple of green, and this is where you just sort of decorate them how you like. If you're using the bead mixes like this one, just go ahead and you know, pop the beads through the best you can, and you know, so that they fit, I think is the thing. Let's have a look. I think we'll have a yellow, and let's see how that fits. Bring them down. Okay, so we've got space for another green there, so we'll pop another green on. So essentially that's what you do. You just pop these on mindfully. If you're like me and you like making things, you know, to escape the rigors of the day, this is where I just sort of zone out a little bit. Maybe have a little bit of music on, or listen to my dog snoring, or, you know, my husband working in the garden, that kind of thing. I think it's nice if we can just, you know, take it easy, make something beautiful, and just zone out for a little bit. All right, again, so 4 wraps around and then back through for the next row. Okay, so I'll do a couple more rows and then I will stop the video from rolling so I'm not boring everybody. Don't want to do that. So actually, I think I'll just make this a complete green row, so we haven't got too many baubles on this tree. We don't want to over bauble, do we? Maybe you do like to over bauble. How do you like to decorate your Christmas trees, guys? Are you one of those people who actually maxes everything out and you've got, I don't know, 100,000 baubles on your tree? Or are you quite minimalist? When I did have a tree, I was quite a minimalist. I didn't like all the tinsels and that kind of thing. I just basically had baubles, which, you know, each to their own. So here we go. We've got another. Do I need another? No, I think we're okay there. And then again, maybe I'll put another bead on there. I think it needs another one. Let me know in the comments, guys. How do you like to decorate? Are you one of those maximalist types who goes all out, all out, and the whole place is bedecked with spangly things and baubles and tinsel and all that kind of thing? Very, very bare and sparse in my house, but like I say, I do like to have some pretty jewellery and accessories and things like that, so let me know. Okay, so that's the third, and I'm back through, so that's 4 wraps and back through on top for the next one. So let's have a think. I'll just do this one and then we'll meet back when you've decorated your beautiful Scandi type tree frames. Okay, so let's go for a yellow and then the rest of the greens. Ooh, the birds are busy outside today. Nice to hear them. Let's have a look. No, don't like that yellow, so I'm just going to swap that for a red. Get another red in here. I mean, you could have like, if you've got silver frame, you could use silver beads and gold beads, that kind of thing. I do have a private Facebook group actually, guys, very safe space. So if you want to make these and you'd like to show them off to a wonderful group of people who love to make and love to show up what they've been making, I will leave the Facebook group link in my description box, and you're very, very welcome. We're all a wonderful like-minded set of people, and I'm making so many friends over there, which to me is wonderful. So if you'd like to join us, then you're very welcome to. Righty-ho, so there we have number 4. All right, so I'll stop the video now and I will meet you back when we have got the partners of this one, and I will clean up all of these rogue beads. So I'll see you in a few. Right, we're back, guys. How did you get along? Hopefully you've got something that looks a little bit like this. So obviously you reduce the beads as you're going along, and I'm just going to put this final little red one at the top, like so, which fits in very nicely. And when you get right down to the end of your wire, I mean, I've said about 50 centimetres, you might be better off with 60. Just, it depends on how much waste you like. I'm trying to be less wasteful. I do have a tendency to use a little bit too much, so I'm trying my very best. So I'm just coming in with my pliers here just to finish the end off, which, gosh, that's not bad, is it? 50 centimetres gets you about that much left. So that's, well done, Sam. That's brilliant. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure that you leave at the top a little hole, a little gap here at the top, because that's where you're putting your ear wire in. All right, so the only thing left to do at this point here now is to snip off these excess bits. Mind your eyes, as always. Just snip off this little bit here too. And then just come in and straighten these things up a little bit. And then just smush your little wire there. And smush your little wire at the end here, just so there's no sharp edges. I'll try to do this through the camera, which, as you well know by now, is quite difficult when you are Mrs. Magoo, which I am. Okay, so there's our little Scandi style Christmas tree. So let's make it a bucket, shall we? Let's make it a little Christmas tree bucket. All right, so for that, you're going to need, again, your 18 gauge, your 1mm copper wire. And you need to measure a length of 7 centimetres this time. All right, so flush cut the end as always. Make it nice and neat. I've got beads everywhere. You can't see here on my table, but just to the right of my hand here, it's all beads. Do you guys have that trouble? Okay, 7 centimetres of wire. All right, so this is really simple, this part. Again, come in, we're going to replicate this little guy here. So come in with your plier right at the end, or your round nose, whichever. And then on each side, in the same direction, just start the beginnings of a little spiral. That's all you need to do, like so. And then come in, and you want it to be the same size as this here. All right, so if you use that as your template, so you need to just come round until the end of the wire is about here. Hopefully you can see that. Let's get that out of the way so it focuses. And then do the same on the other side. Round and abouts, round and abouts. So you have this here. All right. Now then, you can measure this, you can not measure this, you can, you know, do what you like. Make these as tall or as dumpy, these little buckets, as you like. So you can come in and measure them if you wanted to. I just come in with my plier and just sort of guesstimate. Pull them up like so. And hopefully my guesstimate is the same size as that. Yes, that'll do nicely. Guesstimation is good. So just have your little bucket. If it's a little bit skew whiff, which mine is, just, you know, jiggle things around a little bit. What you're aiming for is something that looks a little bit like a bucket, which this kind of does. So, you know, I've made that a little bit skew whiff there, but it doesn't matter. That'll do. It'll do, it'll do, it'll do. We don't like perfect on this channel, do we? So come in with your 2 little jump rings. Obviously you're going to need 4 for a pair, but you know, you can work that out for yourselves. Let me put these on. So all I do now, I'm so conscious now of making these videos too long. Anyway, straighten that up if you need to. There we go, Sammy, that's better. So take your little jump ring, pop it through the hole like so, and then pop your little bucket on through the hole. And, you know, what's the word, Sam? Come on, menopause brain. Tighten the jump rings. There we go. I made it. Why is life so difficult when you're in your 50s? Excuse me. And then just pop that through there. And then again through the little hole. And obviously, you know, don't use your fingers. Use your other pliers. Come on, Sammy, be professional. I'm not a professional. I think that's the whole point. I am not an expert. I use my fingers for all sorts of things. There we go. So that's our little bucket applied to the bottom of our little Scandi Christmas tree. If you find that it doesn't sit correctly, which that one actually does, but that's fine. You can just faff about and wiggle things around a little bit. The only thing you need now is an ear wire. So obviously you make your own if you want to, which I do because it's cheaper. And then literally just pop your cute little Christmas tree onto your ear wire. How cute are those? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Actually, you know what? You can knock these up in minutes. And, you know, if you've got any stalls coming up, fairs, you know, fundraisers, that kind of thing. These are perfect for Christmas time. Absolutely cute, cute, cute. So, like I said, you can make them in any which way you like, with any bead mixes that you like, and have a lot of fun with those. I hope this hasn't gone on for too long and I've not rambled too much. If I have, you know, my apologies. But have fun making those. And I'll see you in my next video, and I hope you have a lovely week. Thanks, guys. Bye.